Today's show sponsored by... Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
Oh, I'm Gavin.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Barbara.
And I'm Gus. Got an extra person.
I like the double shot on you guys. It puts you as such a duo.
That's the we can't afford 6 cameras.
That's right. We already have a ridiculous number of cameras. We can't add, there's no space for another one. Where would we go?
You know what I was thinking
way
about
more than
the other
6,
day? How when we used to do the RT podcast back in the day on the old set, we used to have one camera for both me and Gavin on this couch. Mm-hmm. And so I remember thinking, I was like, it's great. I get to be on camera even when I'm not talking. And so like, I didn't have to talk as much on the podcast because I could just wait for Gavin to be on camera.
And just wave.
I'm here too.
When we first built the broadcast studio down at Ralph Albano at the old studio.
In the Annex.
Yeah, the Annex. I remember I went to Best Buy and I was like, what's the cheapest video camera you all sell that has HDMI out? And they were like, oh, we got these little Sony handicaps. I was like, great, I'll take 4 of those.
Wow.
They were shit.
They were shit. They were terrible.
Garbage. Wait, when you go in, give me your finest, cheapest camera you're going to get.
I think my 2 requirements were, is it cheap and can I remove the HUD on the HDMI out so you don't see like the battery level and all of that shit.
Exactly.
And I was like, great, perfect. $220? Awesome.
Sold.
Let's get those.
It records on a medium that like doesn't exist anymore. It records on mini disc or some shit.
Betamax.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
That makes me mad.
Why?
I don't know. It's just, why go so cheap? We're using the damn things for years.
I was being actively told not to make a broadcast department. I was being told not to spend money and not to waste time doing this.
I was
told
look
this was going to do nothing. So it's like I had to spend as little money as possible to keep the anger at me as low as possible so that I could build the studio.
Hey, I mean, we're here doing the podcast now, so you must have made a good
We're
decision.
here a million years later. Still fucking
I can't believe HDMI has been around that long.
Yeah, seriously.
The Precambrian HDMI core.
Just like to the salesperson, just like, okay, I need some cameras that are going to keep me below the radar. You know what I mean? Like, I need something that's not going to raise any eyebrows when someone looks at a credit card statement. Can you do that
How
for
many
me?
question marks are they going to write when they say how much?
Ooh. But yeah, it was God, what a fucking different time.
That building sucked too. It was freezing or it was boiling.
No AC, no heater.
So you guys were
It
just
was
like,
that bathroom. It was the bathroom over here.
so you guys were on shitty cameras, just glossy or freezing to death every time. So you looked gross.
What we did
and then, like,
when
the
it was
picture
winter, we
bad.
would hide space heaters on the set. So like you see this table here,
But space heaters aren't quiet. Like just
it was actually fairly quiet. But we would like
Is this in the Annex?
we would replace like the side tables with space heaters and then just put like a blanket over them, which I'm sure is not safe.
That seems safe. That seems up to OSHA code.
Also, the first couple podcasts we did in that studio, I don't know if we were still sorting out the mic situation, but we had like lavaliers one time, and they were just
First couple of hundred in there.
We went through a lot of iterations.
I was really hoping
Yeah,
you guys were going to
that's
say you
true.
shared a mic and just like had to pass it around.
That's why we and Gavin are in the same shot.
Do you remember? There was also an element of danger when we first started because we wanted to hang lights on the rafters above the set, but we weren't sure if they could support the weight. So we put a C-clamp up there with a wrench right above us on the set, and we're like, if the wrench ever falls, we know we can't put lights up there.
God damn.
So whenever we do the podcast, every now and then, in those old episodes, if you ever see me looking up, it's because I think I hear the wrench falling.
The wrench falling.
I'm like looking to see if it's going to fall on us.
This most jerry-rigged operation known to man. All of you are essentially just like hobos, like singing over a barrel fire doing the podcast. It's like, golly.
Keep us warm.
What and wasn't that? I never went over to that. I came along long after you guys were out of there, out of the old studio.
I think both of you guys did, right?
Yeah.
We were new space only.
New space only. But wasn't that? I mean, wasn't that place like? Essentially a garage. Like, wasn't it
Yeah.
It was like a hangar bay, but like not in any way insulated or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah, different to this hangar bay.
This one at least.
Airplanes.
This one
that
has
was for
heating and,
cars.
and cooling and stuff.
Yeah, there's insulation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one was for like, pull your big rig in here and get its like oil change. Like it was like one of those big hangar doors for like bigger trucks.
Yeah, and every now and then we would have like deliveries that get dropped off or like to load stuff up and they'd be like, where's your loading dock? Like, yeah, we don't have one. We just have to lift everything up into your trailer.
Ugh.
Wasn't there something really big?
It was the podcast
The podcast set. When we were getting it, right, from a convention or something, it had been delivered back to the studio and we had to like put it back together at the studio.
Jesus.
Whose idea was it to send the podcast set to conventions so that the people
Really?
left behind had no set to shoot on?
It was Gus.
It was me.
Empty garage.
Because I was also doing events at the time. and I wanted to have a cool looking booth, and I wanted to try to like tie the experience together. Where if you saw us in person, it was the same thing
on
that
paper,
you saw.
It's great.
You saw right. It's like if we had bought 2 of them,
Yeah, just get a
it would have
second
been great. Except it was so expensive.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford a second
You
one.
guys know how many times we used it for a convention?
Tell me.
Twice?
I think it was 3. I think we used it 3 times.
Okay.
It ended up being a huge pain. So yeah. It just stayed at the studio. Lessons learned.
Because it wasn't easy. Well, I never did it, but it looked like everyone was struggling all the time to take that thing apart and
I
put
felt
it
like
back together.
I didn't have any trouble with it, but it's because I had done it so many times.
Hey, Gavin, can you give us a head with it? Just a smoke outline of Gavin swinging saloon door, and just like, well,
Didn't you help with it at VidCon with Jordan Swears?
I can't. That's not true. That's a
I
lie.
mean,
There's
I've
no way
said-
that I've never seen Gavin or Jordan.
It was definitely
Well,
Jordan
this
was
is like
definitely lifting.
2013,
You
2014.
That was what I did. But my first shit was I would fly ahead of these guys to conventions,
What-
climb through various unloading docks, and build booths, and then get out of there. I did
What
that
year-
probably
Wait, he's not lying, by the way.
20 times.
Yeah.
What year would you say you stopped lifting things
Uh
on behalf of Rooster Teeth?
oh. Well, yeah, last decade at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Gavin used to like volunteer for the Rooster Teeth booth and like sell merch
Yeah.
and run
Damn.
the booth
Yeah, I think
for them. And
VidCon was probably one of the last ones I did.
yeah,
That one.
That is-
2012 maybe.
That might be the last time we shipped the booth out somewhere.
and I know why, because y'all did not know how to repack everything, so they shoved shirts into the cabinets and stuff like that, into like all these little spaces that the booth had. This is not the same set.
Damn it.
But
just like looking for old
A
shirts.
vintage shirt, just like peeking out.
do you not remember that?
No.
Oh, maybe you weren't there for when they closed. But yeah, Jordan was saying how he just like shoved things in. He didn't know where to put anything.
I think I only set up because I had. That was when like slow-mo event stuff was getting a lot bigger. So I probably
Yeah.
just set it up and then pissed off to do my stuff.
It's very possible.
You never know. You never know when is going to be the last day you'll be schlepping on behalf of the company. Like it's just like because one, I mean, you start off and you're building stuff, breaking stuff down, carrying a bunch of stuff, and then one day it's like, oh no, there's
other people
There's
here.
other people here, and there's
Way
like
more
a
capable people who know what they're doing with this stuff.
and youthful bones and joints that aren't.
Somebody brought a dolly.
What?
Some enterprising genius brought like caveman like technology of the dolly, and it made our whole lives a whole lot easier. Jesus.
We were so stupid about that stuff early on. I remember the first time we went to San Diego Comic-Con, I want to say it was in 2004, because I think like back then San Diego Comic-Con didn't take up the whole convention center yet. So like I want to say it was in 2004 where they finally got Hall H, and they were like, all right, now we have room for a few more exhibitors. So we were able to like sneak in at that time.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh man, we're gonna sell so much stuff at San Diego Comic-Con. There's like 100,000 people there or whatever. It's like we need to send a bunch of merchandise, but we don't have, we only have a 10x10 booth. We don't know where to store it. I know. Let's rent a storage unit for a month, ship all of our stuff there, and then keep it like a warehouse in San Diego that we can go back and forth to replenish the stock from. What a fucking nightmare. What a fucking stupid idea. I mean, oh my God. It was unbearably hot. Then you had to deal with the traffic coming in and out of the convention center. It was like maybe a smart idea for someone who'd never been to the event, but after you spend 2 seconds at the event, you're like, this is not going to work. Like, this was a terrible idea.
Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. What a awful.
That stuff is hard work. I remember one of the worst experiences was it was me, Jack, and Caleb setting up our booth at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. And we had like filled every single shelf to the brim. They had sent so much merch. Everything was just like stacked in, squished in there, like things sideways and everything like that. And then someone comes by our booth and they're like, hey, you guys got about 6 or 7 more boxes. Where should we put those? And I was like, surely we don't. I think we're full. It was all fucking griff balls. Okay, dude? It was like...
And you can't squish those down.
No, it was like we literally had to put them on the floor in the booth and like shove them in between things and under the tables and stuff like that. It was, I think it might have been 500 or 600 griff balls that had showed up.
Jesus. Good God. That's those griff balls were griff balls and hoodies. What I hated in booths, because hoodies were also really
so much
bulky.
space.
Yeah, it's like, where the fuck am I gonna put these? And Jeff was in charge of merch back then. He'd always want to sell hoodies. Like, yeah, we sell these. We make good margin on them. Like, there's no fuck. Like, I was like, we need to calculate like $1 per square inch of revenue for
margin's
items.
different in a 10 by 10.
Right. Like, we need to prioritize the things that make money and are small.
And for some reason, a hoodie, once folded and put in a box, has the gravity of depleted uranium. It becomes so heavy.
That's absolutely right.
You put 3 hoodies in one box, and it's like just like a industrial drum of oil. That's how much it weighs. You're like, oh god, what's in this? Surely, open it up. 3 hoodies. What the fuck?
And then you
Why
take
did
them
I
out
buy
and
these in
wear
San
them,
Diego?
and they're all light again.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking terrible.
I hate events.
Don't get me wrong. I like events. I just don't like the setup and teardown.
That's the bit that I was involved in. That's why I hate them in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, like being at them, fine.
Sure.
But all the other stuff, I used to travel around. I think I've talked about this before. It used to take so long to pack up a booth. You'd have to like go and get supplies to like shrink wrap all of the unused merch so it could go back. And I got so sick of lining
sound.
up for hours after every event that I just started traveling and flying with my carry-on being a big roll of shrink wrap with handles on the end. So I would just take that, through the airport to every event. I just put it on the floor, and then at the end of every event, I would just run
your own
around the
shrink
pallet,
Yep.
wrapping it.
And we learned how to
cut
do it.
off.
Tie it at the bottom, work your way up. Yeah.
And then eventually it was taken from me at security at one airport because they were like, well, you could tie up the crew with this. And I was like, oh. I don't think I will, but okay. And then it
You're
went.
just standing there going,
Do you remember?
But I probably took it on 12 flights just fine.
I remember that one time we were at that event in New Jersey and we didn't have that shrink wrap.
That was the before days. Yeah.
And we were like, shit, we're going to need, like the end of the event's coming up in a couple days, we're going to need shrink wrap. Someone told us there's a Walmart about 5 miles in that direction. And one day we closed up the booth at the end of the day. We're like, let's just walk in that direction and maybe we'll find a Walmart. And we just like took off, like the sun went down. We were out there walking through like an empty field in Secaucus, New Jersey.
Christ.
And we found a Walmart. We're like, oh sweet, we got our shrink wrap. We had to like walk all the way back to the
before
fucking
Uber,
hotel.
right? Never
Yeah,
mind.
of course.
Before Uber.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, take all the stress and physicality of moving and take out all the like sense of accomplishment out of it. Like,
Yeah. The
remove all
only
of
thing I
that.
look forward to is doing it again.
yeah, exactly.
And also, everyone else in the building is also moving and needs the exact
Right.
same equipment that you do.
why
Like
the
trying to get
line's
a
on.
pallet as well
Yeah.
was like, all right. The second the convention center's like, all right, and the floor is closed. You're like,
You're like running.
I need a pallet.
The pre-event stuff was just as bad because you would go somewhere to like pick up exhibitor badges. That person would have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, send you to another person. Then you get sent back and you'd be like, I just spoke to this person. Back and forth, back and forth. So I just took it upon myself to avoid all that and just walk around the back of all the convention centers and just climb up the unloading docks.
Perfect.
So you snuck in.
Without any credentials whatsoever.
If you just
And
walk
that
with
always
confidence,
worked. Yeah.
it's fine.
And I was like, I'm not even from this country.
there's something to that. Like, walk like you're put out. Just look like you're being.
tired-
If you look
I
tired,
was.
You
they'll
look-
let you in.
If
I
you
was
look
annoyed.
tired and inconvenienced because everyone has been just like,
Also,
fucking solve this problem. And just, God.
I will say a flashlight at a concert goes a super long way. All you have to do, bring a flashlight to a concert and just do one of these, turn it on, do one of these, you get anywhere you want to go. Just in front of you as you're walking through the crowd, one little whoop, whoop, whoop. Everybody gets out of you, parts the Red Seas, you go all the way to the front with a flashlight.
Oh, yeah. And just a little flashlight and any lanyard.
Any lanyard. And you just say complete dumbass on it, and you're just up at the front of your Coldplay concert.
Freddie Wong talks about how
So smart.
when he was in college, I guess he went to USC, that he could get anywhere if you put on a polo shirt and just wrapped an Ethernet cable around his shoulder. Just like backstage,
A
be like,
clipboard. A clipboard will get you anywhere.
be like, oh yeah, they need this. I gotta take. Like, oh yeah, come on in.
I just want to point out, we're giving people all these tips and we still have RTX next year.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't this is like before the event.
Yeah. And by the way, we
is
know
like
all these
day
tricks,
of.
so
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah.
we already told our people to look for these
Yeah.
tips.
We were
Exactly.
doing research this entire time. We were learning.
I just thought about that Simpsons joke from a later Simpsons where Homer sneaks into the U2 concert. It's just like,
Potato Man.
Potato Man. Where the hell have you been? And then let him.
That's the episode where he gets beat up to Pride in the name of love.
In the name. He's just being.
I'm rewatching all the Simpsons right now.
Yeah.
With Trevor. We're on season 4. Although, okay, I lied. We're not rewatching all of Simpsons. We're rewatching all of Simpsons between season 3 and maybe 18, 19.
The golden era.
Yeah, you're say that's a safe bet. Like
Yeah.
it's my favorite show of all time, but even I skipped the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and then I'll watch the first one, and it's like, yeah, no, it's still there.
It's all right.
Yeah, the show has an arc to it.
Yeah. But Trevor hasn't seen The Simpsons. He didn't watch it growing up, so we're watching it together. And
What a treat! You're
cracking up.
of course you're coasting into the finest television ever made. Like you're coasting into like seasons where it's like 22 episodes, not a bad one in the bunch. There's just like everyone is like, oh, this is a classic. It's like, oh, and a classic after that. It's like, oh yeah, what a treat! What a treat for both of you.
Stepping back a second,
treat
in
is
chat, Liz Mannion says, "Put a lanyard that says complete dumbass in the RT store." It's a fucking merch idea right there.
There we go.
Complete dumbass.
But I feel it's funny, like going back and watching The Simpsons for the first time now, because I feel like there's so many pop culture references.
And so many things that also came true.
Well,
Yeah,
It's
know,
like a
like,
self.
The
It's one of those like
Simpsons
what are
predicted
they,
so
the self-eating snake, where it's like, oh, the Simpsons are making pop culture references, but they're also making references about like it's just a complete circle.
Yeah.
It used to be a show that commented on pop culture, and then it became pop culture.
Right.
Like The Simpsons became the culture it originally was just like referencing and making fun of and stuff like that. But it became so huge and so ubiquitous that like you kind of have very little room to maneuver. And then, man, there was a really like dark period where it was just like, and guests. We'll just get get anyone famous. Like who's like what's the flavor of the month? They're now on the show. That was
Adam
like,
West, perhaps?
It was just
Adam West one is great.
1,000 times.
There's only one Catwoman for me, Julie Newmar, or Eartha
Eartha
Kitt.
Kitt.
And do you remember the dancing?
Yeah. The Batusi.
just like stepping back.
Nice to meet you. Just back away. Don't make eye contact.
Best cameo.
So great. I watched, speaking of The Simpsons, I was flipping through Disney Plus the other day, and there's like some Simpsons short, I guess, that they made where it's
There's
like,
a couple. Yeah.
well, yeah, but the one that I saw in particular was like, they're all Marvel characters,
Yeah,
and
they're all
like
Avengers.
the Avengers, and they have like this movie poster. And then, you know, it's all kind of gross. And then in the background, in one of the shots, someone's holding a sign that says, "This is what happens when Disney owns everything."
Yeah, now we're talking. See, that was like one of the best things about Simpsons being a Fox property for the longest time is that they constantly made fun of Fox. Because Fox was like kind of a third to fourth rate network for a while.
Right.
But they like ruled the school. That show printed money for them so that they like
They could do what they wanted.
They could do whatever they wanted. And also like James L. Brooks, God bless him, like negotiated the like best deal on earth for that show. And that article that came out I guess last month with that interview with John Swartzwelder, one of the writers of The Simpsons, Notorious Recluse, he talks about that, which is like so interesting. It's like, yeah, James L. Brooks negotiated a contract where like executives had no say over what we made. They didn't get review of cuts. They didn't get to look at anything.
Hell yeah.
We got to make whatever we wanted and turn it in, and they really had no say in it. And then it just rained money on Fox for 15 years,
Right.
and all because we let the artists do what they want. There's a lesson there. And like, somewhere in there's a lesson. But yeah.
Also, I'm co-opting the term "notorious recluse" for just myself all the time.
It's a new Twitter bio.
I just want to be that.
It's a great article. It's a great
Damn.
interview to hear him talk about it.
Yeah.
I think he talked about. That's where I saw that outtake from the 22 short films about Springfield. I think was it in that interview where he talks about the art, and it's like there's a scene with Krusty and Ralph sitting next to each other on a plane.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's like a little bit of key art for it, and like you can see a scan of like the page of script where it's like this all got cut out from the episode. It's like it's weird. It's like it's something I'm
Weird.
so familiar with, and be like, oh, this is like an alternate version that doesn't
Could have
exist.
existed.
It could have. The what if. Yeah. The could be. Man. Great stuff.
Very different.
Oh man, I miss The Simpsons.
It's available.
all still there.
To
Still
watch.
Still there
I feel
on
like
Disney
it's a-
Plus.
It's a
You
different-
want to
different
come
vibe.
watch it with me and Trevor? Come on over.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad that they. Are y'all watching it on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I'm glad that they finally. They didn't have it at launch, but now you have the option to watch it in 4:3. You know, I think at Disney
Yeah.
Plus's launch, you could only watch it in 16:9,
Gross.
which cuts some visual gags
Right.
out.
It cuts significant visual
lot.
gags out, but I've when I've watched it on our competitors Disney Plus, when I watched it on when I watched it on our rival streaming service, it's in 16:9. I haven't found a way to
you
make
have
it.
to go. It's buried at the settings.
Of course it is. Why would they make something necessary for that show easy to access?
Why is it a setting?
I don't know. Like it used to be when it was on like the FX app or whatever.
FXX,
Yeah.
There was an
whatever.
easy toggle where you could switch between 16:9 and 4:3. But now that it's on Disney Plus, you have to like dig down into the settings to find where it is.
Some
So is
apps
it
just
just
want to
for-
watch the world burn.
Does it change it just for Simpsons or for everything?
It's a Simpsons specific setting.
Oh,
While watching The Simpsons.
So someone could go to that show and go to
Simpsons.
Show Ruiner, and it takes it into 16:9. Like, who would choose to see it that way? Like,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Gross.
You missed so much.
maybe they were because most people don't know about formats. Maybe they're worried that people will be like,
It's broken.
"My widescreen's not working."
Yeah. It's the same shit when people used to complain about letterbox movies on their
Dude,
CRTs.
my mom made us take back Titanic on VHS. It was like, something's wrong with the TV. No, I think it's the tapes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What a shame.
She didn't
Did
like.
you ever end up
Letterboxd?
watching it?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'd seen it in the theaters and we're purchasing it on our own. The two.
Excellent.
I don't know why I've been hung up on this. I keep bringing it up. The 2 VHSs required to watch Titanic is such a weird thing in my head. Like, why did it require 2 of them? Like,
It was so long.
could you not just make a spool big enough? I don't know.
Do y'all
No,
remember
what-
where it cut off?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was either right before or right after the iceberg hit. When they're like on the deck there, and
I think
like,
the
ice
iceberg
comes
hits
in.
at like 90 minutes into the
No,
movie.
Yeah.
that is 4 movies. Like that's 4 movies worth of movies. Like the iceberg, the villain of the movie. I love that they have like
The antagonist.
The antagonist. Well, no, because it's Billy Zane. I love movies like that where they have to like kind of build in a narrative. It's like Twister's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you have to build in a narrative of there being like the evil storm chasers
Right.
because like nature doesn't have like an agenda.
Right.
So
Right.
there's, like, you
It's
can't-
humans being dumb with nature involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you have to like build in like a story where it's like, yeah, there's evil storm chasers, and then like Billy Zane is evil because it's just an iceberg. Like, I'm
This is just
floating in the
us.
ocean.
Did you see on SNL a couple of weeks ago Bowen Yang playing the iceberg that
Yes.
sank the Titanic?
Yes.
No, I did
It was
not.
a great performance.
Super good. It was, I think it was last season that they
Yeah, it was
did
this
that.
last season, like a
Didn't
month
see
or
it.
2 ago. He's just like, I was there just chilling. The boat hit me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I'm the villain.
I get all the blame for it.
Right. No, did they die by ice? No, they drowned. The sea is responsible for that, not the iceberg.
iceberg.
Wasn't the Titanic built alongside a different boat that also sank?
Yeah, it had like a sister ship.
Yeah, it was all like.
The SS Tempt Fate. That was the.
Was it?
Or it would have been HMS.
Britannic?
Sorry.
The Britannic.
But it also like what happened? I can't remember what happened to that.
Let's see. It
Apparently, they were all like,
it sank in the Aegean Sea on November 21st, 1916, killing 30 people.
"Don't get like."
Don't get on a boat in the
Don't
early
get on those
1900s.
boats.
That's the
Well,
rule.
I also just learned about another boat tragedy this weekend from Meg. Meg told me about this.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
some ship in Indiana, I believe, that went down, and like 1,100 people went into the water, and only 300 people got rescued. The other 800, many of which got eaten by sharks.
Was it the Indianapolis?
In Indiana?
The USS Indianapolis.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
God.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
I was like, it had Indianapolis involved.
in a lake.
Body of water.
Yeah.
Indiana lake
My
sharks.
bad. That's my bad. That was the only detail I remember.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? Then you said sharks, like, oh, the Indianapolis. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. The Indianapolis.
lake sharks.
Yeah, that was a.
I feel silly.
Circling back to the Simpsons.
1,500 men went into the water. 300 came out. This the Indiana lake sharks. You know,
Indiana Lake.
that thing about a shark's eye, it's like a doll's eye.
There's a later episode where Grandpa
Black eyes.
talks about having been on the Indianapolis
Okay.
and being in the water and then learning how to ride sharks to escape. It's one of those weird later season episodes.
It's one of the best monologues of all in all of cinema. It's Quint's monologue from Jaws, where he talks about being on the USS Indianapolis when it went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, so good.
But did he ever go to Indiana?
That's the real question. Gavin out here asking the real question.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Britannic used to be called the Gigantic. Because it was the Titanic sister ship.
Before,
Yeah, it
before
makes
that, it was
sense.
called man's hubris.
And then after the Titanic sank, they were like, ooh,
Yikes.
let's rename it.
What? There's also welcome to the Boatcast. We're just
It's Simpsons and Boats. Welcome to Simpsons and Boats.
Simpsons and
I'm
Boats.
just the chat is catching up to when I said Indiana. I'm so embarrassed.
No, it's the best. It's the best. Absolutely.
Indiana Land Sharks is the best hockey team I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
They'll
So-
eat you up.
There was was it the Lusitania or there was another like early 20th or early 19th century boat that that also went down. Well, I know it didn't go down, or maybe it went down. I know it caught fire, and what happened was a bunch of like the passengers in turn of the century garb, which was essentially just like dental lead vests, like just turn of the century garb with just layers and layers of clothing. Grabbed a bunch of life vests and on this boat, scrambling, people screaming, women and children. Everyone's like, freaking out, of course, because the boat's on fire. Jump into the water with these life vests, which were made of sawdust and like cork, which were so old that they essentially turned to cement when they hit the
sucked 'em
water,
down.
and it just like stones to the bottom, so. Basically, if you put on a life vest, it killed you, because these
They were expired.
they were expired. Exactly, these like old ass life vests were 100% expired.
You shouldn't have something that when it expires does the opposite of what it was made for.
It should only do more of what it's supposed to upon expiration.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, don't drink that milk after it expired. It gives you osteoporosis. It like breaks your bones. Your bones become brittle. It's like a bird.
Advil
Well, you know
just
what?
gives you a headache.
That reminds me of the fucking sunscreen recall because they had an ingredient in it that gives you cancer, or that can cause cancer.
Benzene?
Benzene?
Yeah.
But it's like sunscreen to protect me from getting cancer. Now
Do the
might
cancer.
cause the cancer.
Benzene.
You're gonna get cancer sometime. Might as well let the
Somehow.
sunblock do the job for you.
God damn it.
I don't know if you guys ever talked about it on Black Box Down, but there was this video that this girl made with information about how to actually position your body during an airplane landing, airplane crash rather, that has like 20 million views on TikTok. And she's saying that the correct way to do it, which by the way, this is false, is to put your legs up on the thing and try to stay as straight as possible, because she's like, what the airline wants to happen with the brace position is they would want you to actually die in a plane crash so that you can't sue the airline. And it's like 20 million people have seen this video and probably believe it.
Yeah.
Nope.
And please don't.
The reason you're supposed to laying down is so that your spine doesn't come out
So-
of your body.
And also so nothing fucking
When you
hits your head
decelerate,
when
right,
the plane.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway.
I mean, it depends on what the situation is, but
It actually does matter. There are things you can do to improve your chance of survivability. We did an episode of Black Box Down. I think it was Southern Airways 352. I don't remember the exact flight number. But there was a guy on that flight who knew the plane was crashing. So he went around and collected all of the blankets he could and built a fort. And he like sat himself in the back of the plane. He built a fort, and then he thought there might be a fire, so he took off his leather jacket and then covered himself with it, so that if there was a flashover fire, he wouldn't get burned.
Roasted?
And he survived. There were not very many survivors on that flight, but he was one of the people who survived.
Holy shit.
Because he moved seats and then built a pillow fort.
Yeah, but he might have survived in his seat.
He could have. Who's to
know?
say?
Now, hold on. I thought there were, I remember, it's not from Airplane, the movie. But it is from a comedy.
Reputable science.
No. It's a joke that like a plane's going down and like, or like is in trouble in the air, or like they don't have enough gas or something, and like the flight attendant's going around and like asks some guy, it's like, can I get you anything? And he's like, holds up his pillow. Could you give me about 50 more of these? Like,
That might have been it.
so I mean, I remember that being a joke from something. Chat, if you know what that joke is from, what show or movie that's from, it looms large in my mind. Because yeah, I was like, haha, that's a joke. But maybe
maybe
100 pillows, just like, yeah.
have you
See
tried
if they
it?
can save it.
Someone told me that I can't remember who this was or how long ago this was. Someone said that the reason they want you in the brace position is so that when you like burn up and melt, your teeth land in the correct spot, like
my
on the
God.
chair. I was
Well, I
like,
thought that's why you have seatbelts in general, so that they can just be like, oh, you can identify the body easier. It's just like
Yeah.
it
the
doesn't.
teeth are right there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these
You're
teeth are all mixed up. We don't know
You're
who's
seatbelted in.
Jesus Christ.
terrible.
so
What a
dark.
morbid discussion.
Simpsons, boats, and morbid realities.
When you
This past
burn
weekend, I
up.
went to the movies and I watched Old. Has anybody seen Old yet? The M. Night Shyamalan movie?
No, I had
No.
it spoiled almost out the gate from TikTok's ruined it.
Well, there's a character in there who's for part of the movie he's like obsessed with trying to remember this other movie. It makes me think about what you're saying. Like, where was these fellows from? Like stuff will be happening, and this guy will be like, okay, we're gonna deal with that. But first, Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson were in a movie together. What was that movie? I can't remember. Everyone's like, stop, sis, stop.
My God.
Insufferable.
Oh God.
To write that into a no, thank you. You've just like I was thinking like, maybe it's good. A lot of people have been talking about it. No, I'm done. If the guy I have to hang out with at parties all the time is there, which is me by myself, I don't want to go.
Can you imagine if you went to a movie and one of the through lines of it was, hey, what's that tune that goes ba da ba-da-da-ba, ba-da-da-da-ba, ba-da-ba. But I just like, what the? And that continues through the movie. Like, I'm gonna burn this movie to the ground. I'm gonna find all prints of this. and
Unless there is
destroy
an
it.
amazing payoff.
Right.
I mean, it better.
It has to be amazing.
The Chekhov's AK-47.
Yeah, no, that better be the fucking aliens autoloader showing
Yeah,
up at the end to
yes,
fight the
100%.
queen. Level tune, yeah, payoff for that. Jesus me,
There wasn't.
there wasn't. Okay.
No, I'm just telling you right now. there
course.
wasn't.
Yeah,
Cool.
Thanks,
yeah, I
Em.
think that'll be a rental.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it wasn't amazing or anything, but
It's no Parasite.
What is M. Night Shyamalan's first name?
M.
No, but it's
Fritz Lang.
just
There's
M.
no period under. Have you never noticed? It's just M.
His name is just M.
Yeah.
Get the.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
no
I was
fucking
like,
idea what the fuck.
You're the,
Really
you're the only
good
one
at
with the open
lying.
laptop.
M Night.
I'm gonna guess
Mickey.
I'm gonna guess Matthew.
I was gonna say Michael.
I was gonna say Michael as well. My
You want
guess.
to take a guess, Gav?
Michael Knight Shyamalan, because you don't
No.
want to be associated with Knight
Yeah.
Rider.
We had Michael and
Matthew.
Matthew. You both were, or all three of you were really close. It's Minaj.
Aha.
Oh,
Real close.
there it is.
Minaj.
Manoj. Hope I'm getting that right. It's actually Minaj.
Is that water in the desert or is it a
Neliyatu
menage?
Very
Shyamalan.
good.
It's what now?
Minaj Neliyatu Shyamalan.
Aha.
So it's not even night.
Man, talk about someone who like captured 4 years, was the king of the world. Like,
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
he has 3 names? So he's Menage a Trois?
Oh.
Sorry, I had to interrupt you to make that joke.
No,
Can we
that's
iris
quality.
out? Yeah, can we iris out on Barbara right now?
We don't have that kind of tech. Gus didn't buy it.
Give me your finest, cheapest iris effect, please.
Get the cardboard.
Yeah, that guy, man, he
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense,
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable,
Yep.
and Signs. Between those, I mean,
I think before,
Old?
before I saw Old, I think the last M. Night Shyamalan movie I saw in the theater, I think was The Village. And I think I got so pissed off at The Village, I was like, I'm not watching another M. Night Shyamalan movie in the theater.
Have you ever walked out of a movie in the theater?
No, I don't think I have.
I've done it.
What? What was it?
Meet the Spartans.
I have walked out of 2 movies, and guess what? Hello. He's coming. I've walked out of 2 movies, and one of them was an M. Night Shyamalan movie,
What movie was it?
Lady in the Water.
Aha.
I hated it. I was like, this is dog shit.
I didn't
And
love that one
Was
either.
that the guy with the one really buff arm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Was that
the-
Freddie Prinze Jr., I think?
It might be.
what's the guy's name? He's like old and kind of creepy looking. Who's in that movie?
Gus.
You said it yourself. I'm gonna look him up.
In M. Night, in Lady in the
Lady
Water?
in the Water, yeah.
Old and
He's like
creepy
the guy
looking.
who like keeps the pool. Why can't I remember?
I said I did walk out, but it was well after the probably 75. I probably should have just stayed at the end, but I was.
At
it
that
just
point,
built.
it's a matter of the
Paul
principle. It's principle.
Giamatti.
It's
Yeah,
the principle.
it's the
Paul
principle.
Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah.
I love Paul Giamatti.
He's great. He's great, but he's definitely creepy in that video in that movie.
Yeah. I love Paul Giamatti. He's the best. But yeah, it was the principle of walking out. I was so angry at the movie. I was like, I'm leaving. I fucking hate this movie.
Yeah.
I'm going. And the other one was the other movie I walked out of. I didn't even hate. I just like I guess I just wasn't feeling well or something. But
The
it wasn't.
vibe was off.
The vibe was 100% off.
Sure.
And you know what that movie is? A perfectly pleasant film. Cars.
Oh my god, I was not expecting cars.
Pixar's Cars.
I hated Cars. I don't
It's
know what it
awful.
is.
It's an awful series. It's not good. It's not good.
Are you serious with us?
Yeah, no, I hate Cars. I love all Disney and Pixar movies. To an unhealthy amount. Cars fucking sucks.
Just like arms crossed in the theater. It's like, nope.
Not
Why did
today.
you go and see that in a
No.
theater?
Like, just all these children in the theater with you. Just like,
excuse me. Like stepping on,
One day you'll learn this is terrible.
stepping on children's feet. Ow. Get
Why
me
were
out
you
of
in there? Would you have like a nephew or something? What was going on?
I was at the time I was
did it
living
come
in
out?
Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was like, I'm gonna go see a movie one afternoon, and I went and saw Cars, and I remember sitting there.
It came
and-
out in 2006, so we aren't that old.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just remember being like, I'm not enjoying this at all.
What if it got good at the end? What if there was great payoff?
But
Is it worth it to like suffer for an hour and a half for a great payoff at the end?
Sure.
Oh my god! No,
Just the beauty and splendor of Santa Fe being like, oh, I could go skiing today, or I could go see cars.
yeah. the land of enchantment was sullied that day when I went and saw Pixar's Cars. Well, that's the thing. Is it was just like I think the reason the vibe was off is because for me, like I was just like, this is kind of just like Save the Cat 101. Like
Sure.
it's such a by the numbers movie that it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, but have you seen the other Pixar movies?
Yeah.
Other
They're
Pixar movies
genius.
are in fact brilliant and amazing and like wonderful storytelling. But Cars really was the first time I felt like it was like, ugh, swing and a miss, Pixar. Like this thing feels like really, really rough.
You're in there with your notepads,
Yeah,
swinging a miss.
swinging a miss.
Pixar.
Dear Pixar, I went and saw your movie Cars.
An adult man by himself.
Let's just say I'll be trading this one in.
I was
Jesus.
I saw it
Funnier
because
than the movie.
I was on my honeymoon. And we were driving around New England. And we were stuck like in New Haven, Connecticut or something. And I was like, oh, let's watch Cars. And we started watching it. And it's like partway through that movie, you have that realization where you're like, this movie sucks. I don't know what everyone was expecting.
This is so layered. Oh my god. You never see movies in theaters. And you went to see Cars?
So it wasn't
On your
actually in the
honeymoon?
theater. So we were like I said, in New Haven, Connecticut. We were somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. Everything was closed, so we were stuck in our hotel, and it was like you could watch it in the hotel TV.
Oh my
so
god.
that's
okay.
how we watched it.
That's fair. But on your honeymoon?
Yeah, but there was nothing. Like I said, we were. I want to say it was New Haven, Connecticut. It was somewhere in Connecticut,
God.
and like the whole town was closed. There was nothing to do. It's like
my
let's just
God.
watch Cars.
It's like Cars or Euro Trip, whatever else was on in like 2006. Like,
Oh my god.
oh God, that is just.
I didn't know you guys were all so
Honeymoon.
connected by the movie Cars.
Oh man.
Like it's a very distinct memory for me because I remember sitting there watching it, and like you said, it was like every other
Newly
Pixar movie
married.
I'd seen up to then was like amazing, incredible. Then I was watching this, I was like waiting for it. I was like, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
Like it's
not
not clicking
happening.
for me. I'm just not
But what made you
feeling
stay?
it. I paid like $5 for it or whatever. Like I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish the
Hotel room,
fucking
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, you're in your room.
And was your storm out? Was it like I'm getting up and leaving this movie, or was it like I'm gonna go pee and then I just won't go back in? Were you like I'm leaving right now?
I made the decision to leave. It was just like, well, I am out of snacks. I'm out of popcorn and soda, so best to just get on down the road. I think you hit it exactly there, Gus, which is just like it never hits that gear. It never happens.
Yeah.
You're just like because you
That gear,
you sit
nice.
you sit
fun.
you sit like you watch Monsters Inc. and it's like a monster society powered by the screams of children. But like premise
And they have portal doors into every person's bedroom.
every new thing you learn about the world in Monsters Inc. You're just like brilliant. Like what a cool novel concept. Every turn in the thing has a novel concept that's very cool. And it's just like, and then they're cars that have eyes.
Yeah,
and they talk.
The cars are people?
They're just
Yeah.
it's
And
just
they-
a story about like people, but they're cars.
And also,
Really?
this was brought up in another podcast. I can't remember which one, but they were talking about like if they open the car doors, does just viscera pour out?
Just guts.
Like is it guts on the because their eyes are the windshield,
Right.
So you would have to like then inside,
And they move their wheels like their hands kinda.
Well, I think somebody said the other day, like, if the Cars universe is parallel to the human universe, then there must have been a Cars Jesus Christ. And so just like the entire imagery of a Cars Jesus is like,
Can you crucify a car?
exactly, like horrifying. Just like the rabbit hole
put it on
opens
one
up
of those
far too
cranky
quickly.
it's on a lift.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever drawn like an X-ray of one of those cars, like with all the organs,
surely.
like where they would all be?
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
The hamburger helper skeleton
Hand,
is
yeah.
by far the scariest little X-ray I've ever seen in my life.
Ugh.
Well, I'm trying to look one up here to show you, Gav. I think I found a fan interpretation.
What would you say is the best Pixar film then? If Cars is probably your least favorite.
Best Pixar film.
I think like I think a lot of people might say Wall-E, but
That's too long.
Too long. And
I agree. I agree. I feel like when I've had this
Oh, it's like a tongue under there.
yeah, it's
of the
chilling.
cloud.
Oh, chilling stuff. I feel like when I've had this conversation with people, a lot of people I know have said Wall-E, but I honestly,
I don't know if I would classify as the best.
I wouldn't. I would say it probably. The first Incredibles movie is
So
good.
tight.
Incredibles
It's
is
so
it is
fucking good.
It is airtight. It is an airtight
And from
movie.
like a technical standpoint as well, where like they were doing a bunch of weird camera shit. That was like we learned about it. Like you learn about it in film school from a like this weird concept of the camera in that movie doesn't exist. Like it's all in the computer, but they do like rack focuses and like dolly. They use all the camera movements that should exist, and so it's the fact that, like this weird concept of like there is no camera here, but they're still using all the language of cinema.
Yeah.
It's just such a strange conceit, and like that was the first big time that like was very clean. It was
Absolutely.
Yeah.
incredible.
Absolutely. Did you
Well,
see the
also-
second one?
I've not seen the second one
The
yet.
second one's really good.
Yeah, it actually holds up really well.
I think
I
the
know.
first Incredibles was also the first time they did a movie with human protagonists
Yes.
as the main characters, right? Like,
That's right. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess Sid from Toy Story 1 was the antagonist. So yeah, like
right, but he's
saw
also you
other
didn't see him
humans.
all the time. You also saw like, the toys.
The I feel like Pixar movies, the good ones, not Cars. I feel like
you, Cars.
I feel like Pixar movies, the good ones, the rankable ones, always have a moment in them where, or at least for me, where I go, you got me. Like I'm on board. You have 100% sold me from this moment. Like this is the thing that like where things clicked over. And I think for me, for Monsters Inc., it was one minute detail that like made me like mentally ascend. It's like this movie is so thought about that it like hurts. Like this was so considered, which was the very beginning of the movie. Toward the beginning of the movie, like you already know the concept, but toward the very beginning of the movie, on the monster scare floor, it's like scare, like the shift's over, and a bell on the wall rings. Bell on the wall rings, shifts over. On the bell, they actually created paint chips on the bell where the ringer would
right.
hit it, which is like such a real
Wow.
Attention to
natural
detail.
attention to detail, lived-in piece of lived-in thing that would occur in a factory that's been around for even more than a few years, which is like paint chips, like little paint chips where the ringer has been hitting the bell. It's just like
I love that kind of stuff.
that stuff.
That makes me want to go rewatch Monsters Inc. right now.
It is so thought about.
Yeah, dude.
Every frame of that, I feel like that movie is thought about in a caring regard. So yeah,
I used to like looking for stuff like that in the real world just to make sure I wasn't in a simulation. Stuff that it's like no one would ever come up
so
with that.
good. Like Breath of the Wild is.
I remember one of the ones where I was definitely like, oh yeah, no one would come up with that. I was on a plane. I went to pee, and there's always those like, don't tamper with the fire thing stickers. But some of the sticker on the ceiling had peeled back a little bit, and someone's hair was stuck in it. And I just thought, I don't think anyone would come up with that. That's just happened.
You think it was
No
like
one would-
someone tall went in there and like
Yeah,
the
just
sticker
like tugged out one of their hairs because it was peeled back.
Because like if you explain that to somebody in a game or in a video, it'd be like, no, that we can't do that. It's too. That doesn't happen. Like, no, it does. It's just very
real.
small and irregular.
You
Like,
wouldn't think of it.
Yeah.
People's brains. You could I would never have that thought process in my entire life of just like, let me look for details that if this were a
confirm it's not a
simulation,
simulation?
let me look for them. I'm just like, someone tall must have been in here. Okay. do do do.
I like to like run rooms real quick to see if it's loading. Like
Yeah.
see if the walls get more resolution.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
saw that pop in over there.
The mirrors aren't working.
yeah, exactly.
Got you.
Like, so you've never done that? You've never looked at something and been like, wow, that's cool. No one would ever come up with that.
No, I haven't. I did have like a weird moment a few months ago where I was watching too many videos about life being a simulation and like different like experiences people have had that have been very out of body and very much like, oh, clearly there was a glitch in the Matrix because this happened and blah, blah, blah. Where I started thinking, I was like, there's people who are completely normal and completely sane and like no one thinks anything of it pretty much their entire life. And then all of a sudden, some people just switch and just go crazy. And I was like, I wonder what happens. Like, are these people like actually awake and actually know like that we're in a simulation and have seen something or know something that like proves it? And like to us, they just seem insane, but they actually like something actually switched or something happened to them because they knew too much or like
Seeing the Matrix.
whatever it was. And I'm just like, how does that happen? And then I started thinking about it too much where I started having a little bit of a panic attack.
Sure.
And I was like, no, stop. I'm more powerful than you. I'm more powerful than you.
Yeah. I recently saw a video that was talking. It was just like one of the more interesting, kind of compelling theories about like, guys, we're about to get real deep. Pull out your bongs, kids. Of one of the more like interesting theories or conceptual ideas behind like the soul, or at least like we can't really account for like personality, like our personhood, something that like we kind of self-identify and other people's like
Another great Pixar movie.
It's
Soul.
true.
Soul actually is great. It's great.
And it just like the one of the theories, like, or at least like something to think about, which I thought was interesting, is the way we think about different planes of reality, and that like how would you explain that the human body might be in fact like a TV, and that you are a signal being
what?
sent.
A TV.
A TV.
Oh, a TV.
The human being is like a TV. Like your body is like a TV. And that you is essentially like a signal sent to this body from whatever exists in some plane that's we don't know anything about. But when you think about a TV on like from a dog's perspective, you look at it's like,
Dude, I thought you were going to talk about dogs on TV.
Yeah, it's just like the image lives inside the TV. Like you would think that the image lives inside the TV, or that like thing is coming. It's like no, that's being broadcast from somewhere far away. And even like even that on a technical level to me is just kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah.
The thing that I took away from, because I think you and I watched the same video, it's the limit of human intelligence, where it's like, oh, if like we can only be so smart and understand so much. In the same way, the dogs watching TV thing made me think of this, where like if you show a dog Game of Thrones, they'll be able to see the image, but they won't be able to like interpret what's going on.
Right.
And so in the same way, there are probably a ton of things that we are just dogs watching TV on. We're just
Right. And it take the thing, yeah, exactly. But what took that concept like kind of in a very literal sense, which I thought was the idea that like, oh, that your body is the TV. That like, oh,
the simulation's coming for us right now.
it's coming for us right now.
We should probably say there's a huge thunderstorm here, so if we lose power, that's why.
Oh yeah, there's a
Good call.
and they,
Please don't have a break. It's not the Matrix, we
No.
promise. It's
Yes.
a thunderstorm.
it's not rebooting. But
But that's
yeah,
what they want us to think.
Right.
yeah.
Well, what's analogous to that is years ago I saw this video where it tried the video tried to as simply as possible explain different dimensions.
Sure.
And what you're talking about here is like analogous to trying to explain the third dimension we all live in to a two-dimensional creature,
Right.
who can only see an X and a Y axis
Sure.
where everything's flat. It's like there's no concept of this whole third dimension above us, just how we exist in other dimensions that we can't perceive. Like the fourth dimension exists and we're in it.
We're in it, 'cause
But
it's
our
time.
reality is only based around this XYZ three dimensions. And we can't
Cut to our audience right now. Just
we can't see these other dimensions because even though we're in them, because we don't have either the level of comprehension or the ability to interact with them.
Sure.
It's like magnetic. It's also like magnetic fields. They're everywhere, but you can't feel them. Or radio
Sure.
frequencies. It's like it's hitting you all the time. You just don't have the equipment to decode it or to sense it.
I think also too something that's really fascinating to me too is to think about like how human beings and humanity is set up on this like tiny planet in pretty much infinity. Like the universe extends out infinitely in all directions and it's so vast
And it's expanding.
It's so vast and continuous in all directions that like the concept of infinity, like previous versions of humanity, I say ancient generations thought that like the sky ended that the
clouds.
universe basically ended at the clouds. That like the night sky was basically just the firmament where there were just holes poked in the sky.
Thunder is
I know.
creeping me out, dude.
I love it.
As we're talking about this kind of stuff, but yeah,
so
there's just,
loud.
there's like the concept of infinity ended at the sky, basically. And then as like human beings gain more technology and intelligence and stuff, we like realize that like, oh no, that goes on infinitely out, and also infinitely small, which is one of the things that's like really
yeah.
crazy. That if you see
The end of Men in Black 1. I can't handle it.
but when have you ever seen one of those like a scale model that like zooms out cosmically for the like the scale of the universe and then goes down?
Yeah, it's creepy.
It goes down
Have you ever-
way more than it goes out, which is like
have you heard
But doesn't
ever?
it- There's no end to either direction, though, surely.
Well, there's just whatever, like the subatomic, whatever Ant-Man was trying to tell us.
The quantum realm.
Yeah, exactly.
The quantum
Whatever
realm.
Ant-Man was trying to tell us.
Whatever Best Buy test video was playing to show that feels like a very like.
I mean, so like you talked about like magnifying in, right? And you think about how much distance there is in an atom. I looked this up so I would get the numbers right. If you were to magnify a hydrogen atom, where the nucleus, which is a proton, is the size of a basketball, then its one electron would be 2 miles away.
Holy shit. The amount of space in between those two things.
Right. It's like it's such a crazy distance between them, and you've got trillions of those of atoms all in you, or maybe even more.
And that's isn't that the plot of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? That Ray Selinsky is like, there's tons of space in between atoms, and we just shrink that space, and that's how we shrink things down.
Well,
That's
did you
like
hear?
He was just after
the
compression.
stat for that? This empty space between atoms. If you were to condense that all down, you could fit, I think, the entire population of Earth in a sugar cube.
Holy shit.
That is
Guys,
fucked up.
we don't
Gross.
know any. We know enough to be terrified.
To be terrified.
We know enough to be scared, which is hilarious.
Let's be dogs watching Game of Thrones. Let's just go back to that.
I had a moment
blows my
today.
mind the people who like settled on it, because surely you would do all these calculations and be like, well, that's not right.
Well, that can't be right.
But someone just had to be like,
cars.
No thanks. I had a moment today. We were filming with John, and he had his cats there. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, it'd be nice just to be a cat. Like, literally, just no worries in the world. You're just walking around, laying in the sun.
Sleeping 23
shitting,
hours a day.
Pissing, not thinking about climate change or voting or...
Just chilling.
It's
Death.
funny you say that because I've had this thought before. Like I've looked out my window and I've talked many times about these fucking animals in my yard, and I'll watch these squirrels, running around doing whatever shit squirrels do, and I think the same things you do. Like, oh, it must be nice to like not have this. Like at the time, I was thinking about this a lot during like the height of COVID when we were all stuck at home and like, everything was really bad last summer. I was like, God, it must be nice to be that squirrel. And I was watching it and I thought, but I don't have to worry about being eaten today. So there's that trade-off.
Yeah, but we still, like, I guess not everyone does, but a lot of people worry about death a lot and just like potential ways of getting yourself into a bad situation and avoiding that.
Yeah,
So it's like kind of like thinking about survival to a degree.
But I'm just thinking, like,
trade-off-
there's not another animal that's like,
Hunting you?
oh, you look delicious. I'm going to eat you.
No, we the thing's trying to kill us are a governor. That's who's trying. That's who's after us.
They're really trying.
They're really giving it a shot. That's the thing that's like, what's the trade-off of the like burden of self-awareness? Like, where do you like?
I feel like
Where's the trade where
there's
you're
like
like
a beauty in self-awareness where it's just like we get to enjoy. Like I don't feel like a cat or a squirrel is gonna ever have that moment of like distinct poetic clarity when you're like outside in the trees and the light are in one specific way. Like,
Very true, very
They
true.
won't get to enjoy that like we get to enjoy it in that moment.
Absolutely. I get
Maybe.
what you're saying. There are some benefits to being
Conscious, and,
Human.
yeah, and just like being able to enjoy the beautiful in between moments.
We can see more of the world than what we can walk to.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's like when you see a cat like laying in a sunbeam, you perceive that as, man, that looks great. What that seems like the best. And I think the cat is like, sleep now, food later. Maybe. I think they're
but that's quite
operating-
beautiful, isn't it?
That's kind of beautiful, and like the fact that you can even like interpret that as like having any kind of
Relax,
aesthetic. The
Yeah.
fact that you can apply any kind of like aesthetic to it is something that's just like very very unique and very special. But yeah, because I feel like to be that animal, like you see videos, and God, this is gonna get again really like weird and morbid. But like, have you ever seen a video of like a crocodile like eating a deer, like pulling a deer into the water, or like, and like the deer is just like going like, it's struggling, but it's blank. There's like, it's not there. You don't see fear in an animal.
It just
is that like a chemical thing? Is it just like in shock in the
maybe
same way a
it's like
human would be?
Well, it's just animals don't really emote.
They don't emote. Like there's not for the most part. I would say most of the animal kingdom doesn't emote, and so it's just like but they have the same kind of lizard brain flight or fight response. So that whatever that like thing that gives like, me anxiety or whatever, you and I anxiety that like still exists in there somewhere, but in an animal is part of just like tree branch broke. I gotta run. Like you just hear like a crack and then you run. But I don't think there's like an emotional component to that.
Yeah.
It's just
Which is interesting.
reaction, instinct.
Yeah.
It's instinct and reaction. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video? It was popular maybe 10 years ago. I think someone called it the Battle of the Serengeti, where it's like, you remember this, right?
Yes.
It's like lions and crocodiles and water buffalo all fighting this three-way fight, where it's like lions chase down a small water buffalo, knock it down, and they're like on top of it like they're going to eat it, but they're next to this pond. Then the alligators come out and scare the lions off. It's because they want to eat the little water buffalo. But then the herd of water buffalo come back and fight the lions and the alligators off and take the water buffalo back into their herd. It's just weird seeing like this three-way animal fight happening, like this standoff where they're all like...
And is it just filmed by passers-by?
It's just like some dude on a safari with
it's
a
just like,
camcorder.
it's just like, whoa, now there's
Shitty
freaking
iPhone
alligators.
3. It's just like at the top of a safari truck.
He's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's
there's
epic.
alligators in there. Now they're dragging it. Now buffalo are coming back and they're fighting them.
And then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god.
Nilbog.
But yeah, that's the kind of what I was talking about. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, this animal has two different things trying to eat it at the same time.
Yeah, I saw in chat someone said animals do emote. They do. I would say for the most part. And when you see like,
Have you seen an animal do this?
do Pixar face? Or DreamWorks face?
DreamWorks face.
Your face.
This is every DreamWorks cover.
It's either a DreamWorks cover or a shitty mobile game that you're going to play.
Speaking of zooming into shit really, really close, that stuff terrifies me for some reason.
Oh, I kept sending it to you, and I was wondering why you weren't responding. I sent you like 3 or 4 TikToks.
Just now?
No, a while back. And I was like, how do you think they do that, Gavin? You're like, I don't know.
He's too scared.
Like, that was it. That was all the conversation suspended.
But it's like, there's this, I think I've talked about this before, there's like this mathematical thing, I think it's called a Mandelbrot set or something, where you plot shit on a graph, but then it sort of infinitely makes this pattern and you can zoom in.
It's like fractals.
Really far.
Yeah.
And I watched like 30 seconds of that, and then I sort of lose track of how deep in I am. And I'm like, oh, if I had to find this exact spot again, I don't know
you'd
if
be
I
done.
can find it. And then it's like, I've got in too deep. And the fact that I couldn't find the same spot again if I zoomed all the way out fills me with dread, and I don't know why. Like, I can't watch that stuff. I'm just like, I'm getting lost. I'm too far deep. I'm
too
going
deep.
all the way in.
I'm in too deep.
I can't get out.
Do you think there is a universe smaller than us, like smaller than we could actually see, that has also living beings?
Like the
on it?
borrowers? You talking about the borrowers right now?
It's Men in Black 1 ending.
It's Men in Black 1 ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like marble.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah, the thunder
'Cause
is just the marble rolling around.
That's right.
Man.
oh, it's us.
man.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Earthquake.
There's so many like little things that like little elements of science, little nuggets of science that you learn, little like Snapple facts of stuff, little blurbs that you learn about science, that there's enough of them that are so mind-blowing that at some point I'm just like, anything is like, sure. Like,
Sure,
you're just
why
like,
not?
anything, fuck it. Like, one of my favorite things is like, if you managed to fall backwards into a black hole, time would condense so much that you would see like looking out back into the universe, you would see the rest of the history of the universe play out before your eyes.
Wait, it would speed up for you?
It would speed up for you. Would see galaxies come together and explode, and
As though on cue.
as though on fucking
Andrew is
cue.
doing something.
can't
Because whenever
keep
you're moving your
mentioning-
hands.
I can't keep mentioning it. No, like, yeah, because like as you were falling backwards into a black hole, time would compress for you. So stuff further away from the black hole would play out at essentially light speed for you. It'd be a fireworks show of the universe playing out.
But how would you live through that?
You
Because
wouldn't.
would you not age through it?
You would exist at normal speed because you are in your
Relative to you.
relative
Right.
to you.
Ugh.
But your electrons would
This
be
is-
closer than 2 miles, probably,
Probably.
as you get crushed
It's
into
just
a sugar cube.
Exactly, because gravity affects time, which makes it appear as though time is in fact a substance,
Well, it's
or has like something, a physicality that can be manipulated.
And where is Cain the Conqueror in this?
But if I had a mirror pointed back out of the black hole, I guess light can't escape.
can't
the black
escape.
hole.
Yeah.
So this is all
Because I was going to try and show them, like, buy Bitcoin or something.
exactly.
yeah, that'd be a big fucking mirror.
somewhat related to that. There's that thing that always we've talked about this many times throughout the years, or on the podcast, is the thing that always freaks me out is that you can see small effects of this in GPS satellites.
Yep.
The clocks on GPS satellites run faster than clocks on the ground. Like they've been up there
they
for
have less gravity.
Right. They're going so fast. They've been up there so long that GPS receivers on Earth have to compensate for this time drift that they've experienced in being in space, and it's 38 microseconds per day that they gain, and they've been up there long enough where it's an appreciable amount to cause errors in GPS if GPS receivers don't correct
So
for
there's
that.
these people out there in the world who are that smart. Like they can go like create satellites and make sure, like Einstein figured out that time moves differently. I still can't figure out when you jump on a train, if you're in the train, you don't go anywhere, but if you're on the roof, you do. What?
Wait, what?
On the roof? No.
Yeah. If you're on the roof of a train and you jump, the train
wind.
will move out from underneath you.
The wind
If the
from-
wind is
air
hitting you.
resistance.
Yeah.
I don't know this. I'm saying like there are smart people in the world. I'm a dumb one.
We haven't even brought up the moon
I'm,
yet.
I haven't even brought up the moon
No,
yet.
even
I haven't
moon
even
talk.
talked about why we're here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the
Joe
chat-
pull a Carrie. You guys should.
Yeah, we should do that. Did Carrie? Oh my God.
He came on to talk. I mean, obviously we love Carrie and love having him on the podcast, but
Absolutely.
he was going to talk about the Ruby Grimm campaign,
Got it.
and we went through the
Which you
entire
can watch
podcast.
now.
you
Season
can
1.
watch.
I'm
Season
doing
1.
Carrie's job.
And Drew and I are here to talk about the exact same thing. Ruby Grimm.
Very good. No, we're here to talk about the what is it? The National Duck Painting Competition stamp. What it?
Oh, we're okay. The federal duck stamp
Yeah,
contest.
Yeah, I pitched it. You entered it, and now you're going to split the $1 million pot with me, right?
Oh wow! Oh, right.
Right?
You're holding me to it right here live on air. Damn.
So
I
there's
just
a
asked for
$1 million
$20.
duck painting competition.
Yes.
There is.
Paid for by the federal government.
Yeah.
So we paid.
Yeah.
So all of you, in fact, paid for this. So yeah, there's a yeah.
Yet I can't vote,
Oh yeah.
but I paid for the $1 million prize.
Same
You
teeth.
kicked
I
in.
contributed it to.
Yes, the federal government, the Fish and Wildlife Service has a contest every year for artists to paint a duck. To appear on a stamp, a postage stamp,
And this is why we're on the show today.
and this is why we're on the show today. No,
Please vote.
No, Drew suggested that I enter the contest, and so I did, or I will. I painted the
The
duck.
painting is impeccable. I don't
Thank
know
you
if,
very
if there's a
much.
way to throw a video of.
Do you really get money for it, though?
Allegedly $1 million.
I'm looking it up. It says federal duck stamp contest winners receive no compensation for their work other than a pane of stamps carrying their design signed by the Secretary of Interior.
Maybe it's $1 million worth of stamps.
Dude,
You could
that would
send-
be.
You could send a lot of little tiny packages or one very big package.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Anywhere you want in the world.
Yeah.
Send
if
this
you get
stamp
enough-
that you painted to 1 million of your friends. You're welcome.
I was told it was $1 million.
Are you bummed
By
now?
whom? By that TikTok?
No. By
Okay, great. I was just making sure. I sent you a TikTok. That's why this all started.
I'm trying to verify. I have no idea. I'm looking this up right now. You're getting stream of consciousness.
Was it somebody?
'Cause I
Was
watched
it
the-
somebody else who was like, "Oh, I entered and I didn't win the $1 million"? I remember that at one point in time it was $1 million. I just don't know if it's.
I hope you
still-
also didn't misread the title and it's not a dick painting for.
Whoops.
$1 million.
ooh.
I just like
Well,
that
in
you
that case,
can-
hold on.
Eric says maybe it's $1 million hairs.
$1 million hairs.
Ah, classic prank.
I do love the idea
Damn.
that you could like go on Survivor. You spend like a month out there and win $1 million, or you could paint a duck
Paint a
for
duck.
the same money. I think that's awesome.
If I could
if
make
it's real.
$1 million for painting a duck, I would start painting ducks. I would leave this podcast and start painting a duck.
I mean, it sounds like we might be able to get that happening for you.
I'm
Like that-
thinking this needs to be a series or a documentary of some sort.
duck pics.
The
It writes itself.
it's right there.
It's right there.
Well, here's the thing. Like, regardless,
Duck
I mean,
pics.
I'd love to win $1 million, but for painting this duck. But even if not, I had a very nice time painting the
It's a
duck.
beautiful painting.
And any compensation would be nice.
Are you
A
showing
fair
it on this podcast?
Do we want? I think you tweeted it, right?
But yeah, it's in one of your tweets.
Yeah, it's in one of my tweets. Just scroll past all my criticism of the Democratic Party, and then you'll find
You're good at painting.
my frustration. I say criticism, but it is really just frustration. And then it's in my Twitter somewhere.
Where did you learn how to paint?
I just tried it. I didn't learn.
It's the most frustrating.
Just try it.
Please don't ask any more questions, Gavin, about how he learned how to paint, because it's the most frustrating story of all
Just
time.
naturally very
He just
good at
like
painting.
showed up one day and was like, "I want to learn how to paint," and then he just knows how to paint. Just knows how to fucking paint.
But do you like
no
look
no,
at
Gavin,
videos
no more
to
questions.
I need to know. Do you learn like techniques, or are you just like there's that duck there? Let me see.
Documentary.
Oh, look, now it's on my canvas.
Yeah, I mean, It's the second thing you said.
Yeah, it's fucking gross. The amount of talent that this person has sitting next to me on this couch was just like, oh, cool. Yeah, I just painted a really like photorealistic painting of a duck.
Hey, there it is.
Asshole. Just
Wait, that's the painting?
that's
Yes.
the painting.
That's what he made.
Shut up.
That looks amazing.
Not a joke.
Look at the way the light's hitting it.
Yeah.
I would say
It
that's
looks
not
like
a simulation.
photo. It looks like a photo of a
I
duck.
can't tell whether it's just because it's like much higher res than that and it's being shrunk down on that screen, but it looks like a photo.
Right.
Thank you.
You want to know my reaction when I saw that tweet?
What?
And I said it lovingly. I went, fuck off.
100%. 100%. This asshole.
Fuck off.
And then this is how he's going to get $1 million.
So the contest is September 25th and 26th.
Yes.
So that was 2020.
No, it's coming up. I think
24th and 25th.
You got to put that thing in the mail.
I got to put that thing in the mail by the
We're talking
5th
acrylics?
by
We're
the-
talking oil?
Oh, so
What's
this
it
is like
It's
2 months
oil.
away. Oh, 1 month
It's
away.
oil, so it's like, is it still damp?
Well, I don't. So again, like I'm learning to paint.
Clearly.
Sure.
And well,
Clearly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So-
all my paintings look like an f2 lens. Look at that.
Well, the thing
beauty.
is, like, I didn't go to art school, and I'm just kind of like figuring things out as I go, and I see things, and I go, oh, let me try. I will try to turn this image or this like thing into this over here. And so there's like no rules. So I don't use like medium in my oil paints because a lot of people thin their oil paints out with like mineral spirits.
What do you use, large?
God damn it.
Boo.
Oh man, locked and loaded, just
Yeah,
ready
I'm
to go.
That's what you got.
Pow, 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 pow. No, yeah, the people sometimes thin their paints with turpentine or mineral spirits or the other types of medium to make the paint a little thinner, and then it dries sometimes faster, sometimes slower.
Yeah, the Mr. Bean gag where he like blots out the lady.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't use any thinner. Like I just use oil paint straight out of the, or water mixable oil straight out of the tube. So because they're water mixable, they dry a little bit faster.
So it's
than,
dry.
Yeah, that one is pretty close to being dry, even though it's
How long does
a
that
little bit-
take to dry?
completely could be like months depending on like how thick the paint is. From
How are you
what
going to
I've-
ship that? With stamps, obviously.
with stamps. It's a ruse. No,
Save this for the documentary.
the way I've been shipping paintings is like putting down like essentially a piece of wax paper over the painting, then putting a piece of cardboard over that,
Got it.
then taping that to it, and then wrapping it in bubble wrap and putting that in packing peanuts.
Got it.
So that's
And then USPS takes it and just
and goes
Smushes the whole thing.
I did send out a painting that someone bought which I really appreciate people buying them. They bought a painting of mine and I shipped it to them. It got there safely, no damage. But when I took it to the post office and like did all the thing, gave it to the lady, she was like, "Okay, cool." Just like did in fact just huck it, and I was like, "Man, I am
God.
so glad that I put like all that
Extra
packing
care.
Wow.
the packing peanuts and the bubble wrap and like the protection because just
What you
like
should do is put just like 2 pieces of broken glass in there with it, so that when people move it, it sounds delicate.
Oh,
So there's
yeah.
like,
A broken china cup.
I'm wary, and this is just my own neuroses. I'm wary of putting fragile on a box because I feel like that
Oh,
makes
that just
people go
Kick it.
Kick the shit out of it.
exactly.
Hey, there's
I
Ace
feel-
Ventura it all down the street.
HDS coming through. Yeah.
but then they're liable, right? If something breaks.
Yeah, but then it's like you worked. If it's a thing that you made.
Yeah, but they don't know what's in there.
Sure.
But if it's, I'm sure they are liable to a degree if something.
They'll
you
also
ship.
fucking fight that stuff. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
It's not worth the fight.
Yeah.
To like, yeah.
So how long did it? Someone in chat, I forget who it was. Who was this? Empty Forest asked, "How long did it take you to paint the duck painting?"
Oh, that's the other thing. I can't believe you're asking this.
So in
No more
total,
questions.
hours wise, probably like 12 hours total.
Bullshit.
Because there's like, so I do a pencil sketch, and then I seal that onto the board, so that like
Did you have to Google this stuff, or did you just know it?
I like Googled some things.
Okay.
I like researched some, like just like
Okay.
or watched a YouTube video, just like the education online. Everyone, you can
did
do.
you time lapse the paint?
Oh, that would have been
I
cool.
did do like I posted it on Instagram. Did a what would you call it?
The story.
tutorial.
No, a photo series of like progression. It's like here's the first here's when I put the sketch on, and like here's
Like a
the
time
first
lapse with less effort.
with less effort.
yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, precisely. So
That'd be a sick video though if you
I
time lapse the whole
want
thing.
I want to like get a setup so that I can like do like show do a video.
time lapse or
I
whatever.
basically do a time lapse. Because like normally I do that on my phone, but that's usually next to me playing a podcast. Like,
Right.
that's what that's doing most of the time.
But that's not why we're here. That's not.
No,
why both
that's
of us are
not.
on
No,
it.
I
that was a
appreciate-
full tangent just about your dumb duck photo.
I know that, and
important
I appreciate
discussion, though.
I appreciate all the nice things that people have said.
So we currently have a show on RTTV called The Most that you and I host, right?
yes.
So live on Tuesdays.
Live on Tuesdays, and the only place that it's been available is right on RTTV, only on roosterteeth.com, not Spotify, not Apple, nowhere else. Couldn't make the cut. Didn't make the cut.
But now it's on Disney Plus.
Now it's on Disney Plus.
Make sure you watch it in 4:3.
So yeah, exactly. So what we've been told thus far is we have been given an audio version of The Most. Finally.
It's gonna be a
We
podcast,
have no idea when it airs yet.
baby.
But we are officially a podcast, and we wanted to come on your podcast and let everybody know
Promote
that.
the other podcast.
Yo, dog,
Yeah.
I heard you like podcasts.
Yo,
Yeah.
dog.
The other thing that we're working on right now, in honor of like getting traction for the new audio podcast, is we will be on anyone's podcast that asks us, including this one. All it has to do is fit 2 criteria. 1, no hate. You can't have hate speech or be a hateful person. Number 2, we have to be remote. That's it. Otherwise, pretty open to doing it. So
Do you guys have an email or a contact people could
You can hit us up.
message?
You can DM our The Most Cast on Twitter.
At the most cast.
Yeah, at The Most Cast.
Are your DMs open?
DMs are open.
open.
Okay.
Come through. We've already booked a couple of Strangers Podcast.
Do y'all know anything about plane crashes?
We can. Here's the thing. Andrew's really good at improv, and I'm really good at interrupting Andrew. So we can do it.
With our powers combined. We can do it. No, yeah, well, we'll appear on everything. I was just on a good friend of mine's podcast, What a Time to Be Alive.
Did not invite me.
I asked Kath, and she was like, "We're doing one person guest this week."
Fine.
It's true. But
so you
like,
didn't tag out. You just did the whole thing.
I just did the whole thing
By himself. Could have tagged out halfway through. Did.
No.
It's a 3-hour-long podcast. Did it by himself.
Yep, that's right.
While painting a duck.
While painting a duck and smoking a pipe at the same time. No.
skilled.
So yeah, it was on What a Time to Be Alive. The latest episode came out today. It was a lot of fun, totally fun, and thank y'all for having us on here to talk about it
thank
as
you.
well.
I had no involvement in that decision whatsoever.
That's
but
fine.
I see.
Then I'm going to rescind my thanks from you. I will
People
not.
in the chat are already asking, is there going to be a B?
Yeah,
in
there'll
the
be a bit.
audio version.
Yeah, we'll throw in a little audio bit.
Okay.
Oh,
Ted the
because
Bee.
yeah, Ted the Most Bee, yeah, because that's a visual gag from the show. So once it's on audio, we will have to get a sound effects board and like actually put in a little bzzz.
for those who have not watched or
Tomorrow,
seen,
we have one tomorrow.
what would you say is your favorite episode that people should check out on on roosterteeth.com to get a good flavor of the podcast, to get a good taste for it?
This last week was one of my favorites, but that was just very personally my favorite because all we did was talk about movies for an hour. So it was just like I got to be myself the whole hour, just like geek shit. And then, but probably my favorite episode, or like the best episode, is probably the podcast, but outside, I would say.
Those
Podcast
guys
But
are
Outside.
so funny.
And then What a Time to Be Alive was also very good, but it just. Really, any episode that you watch, it's all variant on how much Andrew and I are cackling. So if you enjoy Andrew and I cackling, that's
Yeah.
most of the show.
If you see just chin in the thumbnail,
Yeah,
it's a good one.
That's it. Yeah, precisely. I feel like I have some top episodes, and it's usually because it's sort of a storytelling podcast.
Sure.
As most podcasts
Vaguely.
is like it's friends
Shooting the shit.
shooting the shit like most podcasts, which is great. So I have like elements. So one of the hardest times I probably ever laughed on the show was Maxie talking about her encounter with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Which is like an all-time just like I
gotta go watch it.
crying
Yeah.
laughing with that episode. Then there's also an episode with Hannah and Noelle toward the beginning when we're like this was like October last year. In fact, it was October last year because it was the Spooktacular edition.
Spectacular.
Where Noelle told maybe the scariest story I've ever edge of my seat freaky story that Noelle told. And so like
that guy's a lot of stories.
he has a lot of stories, and the one from last year where he tells a spooky story is definitely one to check out. And then the What a Time Being On was super fun. The podcast But Outside guys are really fun. I think like one of the really one of the ways we measure like whether an episode is good or not is just like the fact that we can't get to the questions.
Oh,
like,
Yeah, the
it's
less
like
questions answered, the better the episode is.
yeah, exactly. We had Sam Reich and Josh Rubin on from College Humor. That was a really, really fun episode. It's just like, so like an episode is going well when you're like, hey, we're at the 45 minutes. It's an hour-long show. We're like, we're at the 45-minute mark and haven't asked a question yet.
Yep.
It's like, because it's just a lot of fun.
cut a
The first
best
time
of.
the first time I was on The Most, I was really nervous because like I don't host that show. I was like, We haven't got another question. we haven't even,
Gus can't relinquish control.
we
like
haven't even
that.
started yet. We're 30 minutes in. Oh my God, what's going to happen?
What's gonna happen?
Part of the shtick.
It's part of the bit. It's part of the fun. But what's really great is like on top of that, I feel like you and I have great chemistry with the guests that we've had.
Sure.
As then like, oh, we go 30, 45 minutes without asking a question, and it's still been a good time. And then we get to ask questions with the most in them. So then we have like built-in automatic conversation starters to just like tell stories and go from there.
Well, yeah,
It's
you guys
a
are
lot of fun.
also. Let me toot y'all's horns for a second.
Okay.
Don't read into that phrase too much. But
Okay.
you guys are really like some of the easiest people to have a conversation with, and like some of the most fun people to talk to. And also, I think such an underrated characteristic of people who do podcasts. You guys are a great audience, because I feel like there's people who you both did this at the same time. But there's some people who host podcasts or do shows, and they don't. Like people who laugh at other people's jokes and who are like dig deeper into what people are saying and stuff like that, and are just good people who listen
Really engaging.
and who are engaged and who laugh and who like make the guests feel like they're funny
I'm so
and they're
afraid
interesting.
To talk right now. I'm so afraid to say anything. Just like, don't. You're gonna spoil it.
But I'm just like, for the the few times I've been on, it's always like a joy and like
Thank you.
a real
Thank
good
you.
time.
That's one of the nicest things I've ever heard. Because like
Even nicer than your duck painting.
It is. That duck painting. Take a hike, duck painting. This is like that's the juice right there.
My new
Well,
duck painting.
No, that's what I feel like. That's a common denominator in some of my favorite podcasts is that when I like hosts. And I'm really engaged by hosts, especially, I mean, aside from true crime, but like the podcasts I listen to, but just like chat shows, like, conversation shows, I really love when like the guests when the hosts make their guests feel actively listened to.
Yeah.
And like are engaging with what they're saying and aren't just like waiting for their turn to talk. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
So common.
That's like super common. And, and I really like the like team sport of comedy and like want like to make other people feel funny and like engaging and listen to, because that's how people open up and that's how you get like the best interactions and the best stories. That's like people when people feel at ease, they're their funniest. Like people don't like feeling like, so if you're listening to them, they're going to be more at ease.
I think that's why I made that rule, because on the show I refuse to answer questions. Like that's my joke. It's a shtick that I have on the show.
It's a great out, by the way.
Great out, but like it also keeps me from doing shit a lot of times where it's like, oh, I got a story. I can tell a story right here. I can jump in right now.
It makes
you
you more engaged.
Right. It's just like I have a rule that I don't tell stories on this show. So let it go. It doesn't matter.
A lot of times when I hosted Always Open, where purposely, like sometimes I just wouldn't answer the question either because I was like, I don't really have much to contribute here or whatever. And sometimes comments would be like, Barbara never answered. I'm like, I don't have to answer every question. Right. This is more about the guests, in my opinion.
Or people who have like
an actual
story or input on it, right?
Exactly. Because my story would be like, I broke my foot playing soccer. Cool. Like not an interesting thing, you know, as an example.
You're like doing editing on the fly. Getting the best stuff to put forward.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible editor on the fly, so I tell no stuff.
Exactly. You're nipping it in the bud.
No, I'm going to fuck this up, so I'm just not even going to start.
Well, I'm excited. I know you all joked about it for a long time about getting the most.
It was a running gag on the show, and now
as
it's a real thing. So it's like, shit, now we have to
podcast.
try.
Yeah.
Does that mean it'll have ads on it?
Yeah. Well,
Does it already have ads on it?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, if we meet the threshold or whatever that means.
Well, yeah, we have to. So we're say, please listen to the show once it's out on audio format, because that way we can keep doing it.
You don't have a timeline for that. You don't know what it is.
We just know that it's happening.
We know that it's happening. We've been given this.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Someone went like this.
Was it an
to
emoji?
Yeah, exactly.
It was an emoji in Slack where it's just like, can we have a show? And it's just like, there
Was
it
it
is.
was it a reaction emoji, or was it actually typed out and sent as a thumbs up?
Oh, I don't even know how to do that. Do you have to like colon thumbs up?
Oh yeah, no. So it was like, can we have a show? Then they reacted to, can we have a show with a thumbs up? Or if they actually went into the
and selected a thumbs up.
they went into the bar to add a message
As a
in the
response.
I
message
believe it
thing.
was a reaction.
Ooh.
Ooh,
guys were
the
doing
temperature got a little
pretty
cooler.
well.
I don't know.
Thunder again. Damn it. There we go. We got a thumbs up in the. Yep,
there it is.
There
Hey.
Yeah, so
Radar.
that will be happening soon. We're gonna make that happen very soon. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks there will be episodes dropping into your wherever you get podcasts.
Hopefully, if you're listening to other podcasts, we just randomly. Here's what I want. I want somebody who winds up listening to the most be like, "Oh, I just saw them on my friend's podcast because they were doing the tour, and then now they're here." Like that's the goal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of podcasts.
So come
out there.
through.
Yeah.
We're ready.
How long do you think it'll take you to do every podcast?
Every podcast?
You've been done like in a month, right?
Yeah, like
Not that many.
6 weeks.
Well, some go live, some only
that's
tape
true.
on weekends, some only tape.
Scheduling's gonna be real. This could be the worst part.
Exactly.
I will just pre-tape a bunch of canned reactions.
Yeah.
And send those out to podcasts.
And they can cut them in themselves.
You can
And
do
they can
some
cut-
now.
You really could. Go ahead.
Oh, are you serious?
So good, so good.
It's like a perfect take.
What a psychopath. Just can jump right into it. There's nothing.
Use that to your heart's content.
You need one of these.
Any podcast?
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh,
Oh
Sure.
no,
Oh,
Of course.
oh,
that's
absolutely.
terrible. That's fantastic.
You're kidding.
This is like watching. I'm just watching it on the TV. It's like watching an edited cut down, but it's happening live in front of you. None of the there's
For
no
the last
information.
4 minutes of the podcast, we just want to have a conversation and reactions.
just we can we can soundboard ourselves.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Oh, that's wild.
You're kidding.
Okay, I can't do it.
I was waiting for somebody to call it.
You just get in your own head about it. No, say it. You just gotta roll. Just gotta,
Dead air.
I just got inside my head. I was like, what do people say?
How do I have a normal conversation again? I forget.
How do I respond to people? We speaking of doing the podcast rounds, a couple weeks ago we had we had a chance to talk with Kevin Smith about the Masters of the Universe Netflix show that he worked on that just came out last week. And we talked to them. We talked to them well before the show came out, and I think our interview with him came out before the show came out, so we couldn't spoil anything. We couldn't talk about the show, but the show's out now. People can watch it. It's been out for a couple weeks, and that show I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes because I was curious because I really liked the show. I thought that it was they did a great job with it, but they made some decisions I thought might not sit well with some people.
Okay.
So I was curious to see what it was on Rotten Tomatoes. So I looked it up. And this Masters of the Universe series on Netflix, the critic tomato is 96% fresh.
Whoa.
Audience score, 39%.
whoa.
What choice are we talking about?
The show largely... This all happens episode 1.
Sure.
So this is... I mean, this... I know if you're really curious,
30-minute
hopefully you
spoiler.
watch it by now. Right, in the first 15, 30 minutes this happens. They kind of sideline He-Man.
Ah.
And they kind of focus on some ancillary characters who did exist in the old,
Sure.
80s TV show, who are like, for lack of a better term, strong female characters to show their story in Eternia and how they approach all these things that are going on in the world. And I think a lot of immature dudes didn't like that. I don't know any nicer way to put that. I don't know if I need to put that any nicer.
Probably not.
That was the nicest anybody's ever said that.
Yep.
I was.
It's a really good show. They put like 5 episodes out now, I think, and the next 5 are coming at some point in the future. It's so fucking good. It is so good. I can't recommend it enough.
Did you watch She-Ra when it came out? Were they related? I'm just past that cusp on millennial.
There was
where
a
it's just
shared universe. I don't remember what the connection between the two of them
probably
was.
just the same animation studio.
But they're like quote canonically.
Sure.
I think there was as well. She-Ra. I remember. It's funny. I didn't get a chance to bring this up when we were talking with Kevin Smith about it, but I remember watching He-Man when I was really young. Like it came out when I was like in kindergarten. I was like 5 or 6. I used to watch the shit out of He-Man all the time. And I remember even being like a little boy thinking, I'm never going to be like as muscular and strong as He-Man, but Man-at-Arms, that's my guy. I'm gonna be more like I want to be a Man-at-Arms when I grow up.
Very good.
And I ended up being an Orco. So you don't ever. Sometimes you don't get to your goals.
You win some, you lose some. He was man.
Yes, I guess they introduced She-Ra in 1985 to try to expand the appeal of Masters of the Universe to young girls.
Got it.
At the same time, so they do live in a shared universe.
Overlap.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I looked that up the other day on Rotten Tomatoes and like just seeing the big discrepancy between like audience score and critic score on two different ends.
I mean, I just saw. I haven't watched the show, but I did watch the trailer, and I mean, it looks awesome. I mean, it looks cool, and I mean,
clean.
Very clean, and I mean that from like kind of. There was a lot of discourse. Hey, you guys ever check out this discourse online about like the state of animation?
Y'all ever read the comments?
You guys ever in the discourse? There was a recently kind of a lot of people piping up about the current state of animation, especially American animation, in particular, adult animated shows, and how they look fucking terrible. Like they look and are animated unpleasantly to look at. And like there was a lot of like back and forth about people like, yeah, I just don't like looking at like a lot of adult animated shows. Like they do the character design is like really kind of unpleasant, and the movement is that like super kind of really quickly animated like Family Guy style of
like
animation.
Flash. Okay.
It's like it's very quick and like it's not smooth. And
It's like a budget thing or a style thing?
Or are they doing
100% a budget thing.
Okay.
Like,
are they doing that animating on the twos thing? Maybe that's what people are
That
talking about.
might be it, but it's also what would the examples get? I'm trying to figure out like what are you talking about right now?
well, the thing I think it was maybe a lot of the discourse we're referring to was that new. Oh, I can't even say it because it's on our network.
What does it rhyme with?
It rhymes with rinse or the rinse. It's The Prince. Guys, there's a show coming out called The Prince, and it's about the royal family. It's about the British royal
I
family.
like how you looked right at Gavin.
Right, Gavin.
And,
you know, the royal family.
Yeah.
Heard of him?
You
You heard
guys.
of him? But and I think it's like it comes to the character design. It's like really fast. Everything's exaggerated. I think that's what a lot of the discourse was about.
Got it.
But then in a high contrast. So then someone went on a really interesting thread just about like how budgets and workloads just affect animation, and like everything, it's just like faster, cheaper, like less personnel to make it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, and you have like people like working in like very specific workflows to get stuff done, and just like to turn stuff over, especially for animation, takes so much time. Because like you think about The Simpsons, to go back to The Simpsons, we're doing 22 episodes of a show. Now a season of animation is 8 episodes if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like, and it's 8 episodes, and they're like
And they just kept going.
18 minutes. Yeah. Like,
Right? Like they didn't really have season breaks, right? Like
No, you would. I would assume you'd play through hiatus. You just keep.
yeah.
They would have normally in the old style is summer would be the break, and they'd have like
Okay.
mid-season replacements in the summer.
Gotcha. Okay. I was
Yeah.
trying to remember how. Yeah.
how that worked. But it was just really interesting to see someone an animator on that side, like in the industry, like talk about working in that environment of like working on those shows and how it's just like pretty brutal.
Right.
And so like when you like see, it's like, oh man, I don't like the way that like animation looks or that character design looks or that like the movement or anything like that, or the fact that like the backgrounds and the color of the art and stuff like that. It's like, no, for the most part, that a lot of those are budgetary decisions. Like when it comes down to a lot of it, and it's like really easy. And this is like not a grand observation, but like it's really easy. It's a lot cheaper to make your character a weird tube with a mouth over it that just changes. Like you just do different mouth sets over kind of a weird like tube character. And have that kind of be the template.
It's just like how Hanna-Barbera gave Yogi Bear a tie.
They gave him all neckwear.
They gave them all like a tie.
So you
that
could
way,
swap the heads
Yeah,
out.
the body could just stay in one position, and they just had to animate the head, moving around and talking.
Genius.
The same kind of thing. It's like
Brilliant.
Efficient.
efficiency hacks. We got to wrap up here pretty soon, but before we do, I had a tweet a couple weeks ago, and I'm curious to get you guys' opinion on this as well. I was just curious to know how happy everyone was with Mondays as our live streaming day for the podcast. I'm not saying I want to change it.
Let's change it.
I'm just saying, are there other days that work better? And what brought this about was the 4th of July is what brought this about. Is whenever there's a 3-day weekend, we invariably end up having to pre-tape the Monday episode of the podcast, which like, I don't know,
It
has
happens
like
more often than you think.
yeah. So someone replied to my tweet with like, "Oh, I never noticed it, so I think it doesn't happen that often." Like, trust me, it happens a lot.
Right.
where it's a scheduling thing, and then
Like 10 a year or something.
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just it can be stressful. So I just wanted to get more reaction beyond my Twitter followers. I'm just curious to get more reaction to people watching this video or listening to this audio. Like, let us know. Are there any days? I guess if you're listening to audio, the live time doesn't make a difference to you. But if you watch it live,
it kind of does, because if we change the day we do it live,
good
it
point.
changes the day the audio will come out.
that's a good
To
point.
people, and also on the site and on YouTube and stuff. The thing we were talking about with the time change or the day change is that, you know, it's been hard sometimes on Mondays because we haven't really done much during the week yet. Yes, you
Yeah.
have the weekend, but, you know, typically, especially this last year and a half, has been mostly just chilling at home.
We used to go out and do things on the weekend. But
Right.
It's been a while.
And we'll probably get back to that, but like, let's say it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday afternoon or evening. Like at that point, you have more week to go off of, more has happened with work or in your personal life or whatever. So there's kind of like, it's more of like a midweek refresher of what's going on. And it feels more like you got more to talk about and stuff coming up and you know what's going on in that way. So that was like one of the biggest, I think, arguments for potentially looking more towards the middle of the week rather than a Monday.
Yeah, and I guess to your point, the timing for audio consumption.
Because,
will
I know a lot
change.
of people listen to it earlier in the week.
It's also should we also maybe do a different time? Am I going
Wednesday
crazy
morning.
now?
2 a week.
Right, just because like
We used to do it when, well, you guys used to do it
tape
Wednesday
it in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean,
2 a week.
the reason we have like a delay in getting the audio out is because we do it so late at night. It's like we can't have it in good conscience ask someone to stay here after we're done and work and cut the audio together, right? So it's like you introduce a delay. If we tape this earlier in the day, then maybe we get stuff turned around faster.
Yeah.
When did we used to do it in the old conference room? What time was that?
We used to do it on Wednesdays, and I want to say we would do it at 10 a.m. Because then
That
we
would- that
we
to
would go
me-
eat lunch immediately after. Because we would always end it
Yeah.
with what are we going to get for lunch?
I loved it then. It was great.
Yeah.
Everyone's fresh.
It's just I know a lot of people watch this after work,
Yeah,
which
or
is
at
another
work.
thing. Or at work, maybe.
So I mean,
We
let
won't
us
tell your
know.
boss,
I
don't
guess
worry.
Quickly minimizing this show as
Yeah.
the boss walks by.
Yeah, it makes almost no sense to do it live at Wednesday at 10, but
Yeah, well-
that's like a good time for a VOD.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you guys think. I'm just curious to get feedback. Doesn't mean we're necessarily changing anything. I just want to know what the consumption, what your opinion is for people
Ultimately,
who
we
consume
want
it.
the most interest. We want the best content possible
Right.
for the podcast.
And if that helps
you
the
know,
content, then it's a no-brainer.
yeah, we want it to be entertaining for you guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of entertaining, that's it for this episode. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys again
Watch the
next
most.
week.
Watch
Watch
the most.
And listen
And
to
listen
the most.
to
And listen to the most. More importantly, listen to it.
Listen to it when it comes out.
When it's available.
Yes.
Bye. Hey everyone, if you like that video, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff. Also, if you like shows about friends stabbing each other in the back, we got a brand new show for you to check out. It's called Camp Betrayal. You can click the link down below right now. Watch it. Do it.